The political tension in Kenya is keeping rising, especially after the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, made a phone call during the homecoming of the Secretary General of Jubilee Party, where he warned the critics, especially the UDA members, against sidelining him, saying that he shouldn't be active politically now that he is retired. So today, the presidential aspirant of Jubilee Party, Fred Matiang'i, who is also the former cabinet secretary, now roared, warning the UDA minions against attacking President William Ruto, and this has escalated the tension that was there, or rather existed, after Uhuru Kenyatta made the phone call. Listen to Fred Matiang'i.
We will conclude this press conference in addition to what we have presented in our statement, by saying this, and after this, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we will take one or two questions. There is a time in life you hope that in a serious country like ours, there are things you do not need to spend time on. I mean, there are retired presidents across the continent. In Nigeria, there are, I think, 3 or 4. President Kikwete is here in Tanzania. In Botswana, there are quite a number. In Mozambique, there are quite a number. You know, the kind of pettiness that we have seen this weekend and primitivity in addressing the retired president is shocking. We chose democracy. We know that our current president and his team did not support this constitution, but they swore to protect it. And it provides an opportunity for all of us to respect freedom of expression and freedom of association. Our party leader is going nowhere, and our party leader will continue to express himself.
Here, Fred Matiang'i is wondering why Uhuru Kenyatta makes just a phone call, one phone call, and then the whole of William Ruto's team goes berserk, and also they cry the whole weekend, the whole week concerning Uhuru Kenyatta. Is something that needs to be studied, because, I mean, William Ruto is so insecure to an extent that when Uhuru Kenyatta speaks, it sends everyone around William Ruto, it shakes everyone, and also sends his bloggers to attack Uhuru Kenyatta. And therefore, Fred Matiang'i is asking William Ruto and the people around him to stop the pettiness. In fact, they should stop being petty. That is according to Fred Matiang'i. In fact, he gave examples of many countries, including Nigeria, saying that they have even 3 former presidents and they are active politically. He gave out an example in Tanzania, where Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete is still active in politics, even determining what CCM does. He also gave examples of Mozambique, saying that if those countries, their retired presidents are still active, why not Kenya? And therefore he told William Ruto that Uhuru Kenyatta is going nowhere. He will be in Kenya and he will do politics. That is according to Fred Matiang'i. Hadi akawaambia wafanye Kenya wanataka. He asked them to do whatever they want to do, but Uhuru Kenyatta will always speak his mind and give his statement. Again, there was a language that was used by some of the minions of UDA. And that language I equally pointed out. I saw that half-baked, Oscar Sudi, the Kapseret member of parliament, saying something that drew my attention. Oscar Sudi said, Uhuru Kenyatta ni mtu fake kabisa. Hata akili ana, hata yake iko kubwa kuliko ya Uhuru. It was a petty statement, a silly statement, because you cannot refer to the former president of Kenya as someone who is silly, someone who is fake, someone who has no brains. This is a leader. He is someone who has led Kenya for 10 years. I'm very sure Oscar Sudi cannot lead Kenya for that long. Kitu anajua yeye hapa na hapa, ibe pesa, fanye nini, alima ende shamba. That's what Oscar Sudi knows. You can never compare Oscar Sudi's brains and that of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, someone who learned very well, someone who is so well learned, someone who went to good schools. You can never. So the kind of language was so indecent. The kind of language these people were using to attack Uhuru Kenyatta, it was indecent to an extent. Fred Matiang'i is saying that even the people from Jubilee They were not even allowed to use such a language to address the president of Kenya, William Ruto, despite the hatred, despite that they hate William Ruto so much. They cannot allow such indecency politically to happen. And then Fred Matiang'i pointed out something that I've been asking you guys. Why is it that William Ruto shakes, trembles terribly when Uhuru Kenyatta speaks? There's something we need to learn. Why is it that Uhuru Kenyatta is feared so much by the people around William Ruto? There's something that people don't know. I think Uhuru Kenyatta has a very big impact in the Kenyan politics. Has a very big one. Yeah? Uhuru Kenyatta, and because even if Rigathi Gachagua has been insulting William Ruto, he has been speaking weird and nasty things about William Ruto. William Ruto has never been so berserk, so trampled to an extent where Uhuru Kenyatta speaks warning people against him. That one hits different, and there is a reason. Maybe because Uhuru Kenyatta led for 10 years, he's so much connected. There are many people looking up upon him. He networked so well in this country, and then there are people who listens to him, like especially Mount Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta is much respected, despite the fact that people never listened to him when he was advising them not to vote for William Ruto. Matiang'i also pointed out something about Irungu Kang'ata, saying that when you realize the head of a county, especially in Mount Kenya, has resigned, you need to question why that is happening. Because when you lose such a member, someone who stood with you, it indicates one thing, that the William Ruto ship is sinking. It is sinking, and at a high speed towards 2027. And that is why Matiang'i is asking, why does William Ruto base his argument, base his attacks, especially on Uhuru Kenyatta, rather than making sure, his ship does not sink, making amends, making sure that ship is not sinking? Why is it that? Is a question that also we've been asking ourselves. He further pointed out that there is a lot of goonism in our country, Kenya, and we have also cattle rusters in different communities, whereby you find a certain community has some people who go to another community to steal the cows and, take them home. Is another menace that the government should look so much into, because it can lead to a lot of chaos. It can lead to instability of a country. It can lead to unnecessary killings when the two tribes clash. So it's something that we need to learn.